All right. So if you go to the announcements, there we go. Maybe. Yeah. All right. So as I said yesterday and the day before, you were just needed to finish any work from last week. And today we are going to review simulation test one. I'm just going to go over a few things, kind of walk back through one. I might not do a complete review. I will do that on Friday. So again, Monday of next week, I'm going to send out an announcement right after I get done recording this Zoom. We are going to test on Monday at 11 o'clock for anyone who is a C student or A week. If you are B week or come D week, regardless if you come A and B week, um, you can take it on Tuesday just during class. So we will take the illustrator certification. So that's basically it. Like I said, I'll send out an announcement later with all the details and all of that. But if you're watching this later, you can see all that information right here. So what we need to do is we need to go to geometrics, and hopefully you've all been practicing this like you should be. I'm sure you all have been doing it very yeah, whatever. It's all right, log in. Yeah, so this is it. So this is simulation test one. As you can see, I was looking at it last week. And there we go. So again, the cool thing is we did get the simulation test in, so that is good um, because now you can take these on a Chromebook if you're at home. So there's no excuses. You should be able to take all the simulation tests. So using the image as reference, identify the elements of an image in the layer panel. So select object. So you might have to kind of zoom in for this, and the lights being on kind of are not helpful for us here at school. But um, so we're looking for the selected object, the target icon, the template layer, the sublayer, and the layer. So, let's see. It's difficult to see. The selected object is layer 5, which I think that's what D is pointing at. I will say this was kind of difficult because of the way it's looking, but the selected layer is definitely layer 5, so I'm going to go with D, selected object. Um, I think that's what they're trying to say. And then C is definitely pointing at the you are not the I'm a little confused with what they're trying to show us here. A is what is that? Okay, let's just honestly get that answer here because I can't see. That was incorrect with that. Select object is A. That's odd because they're obviously sitting in there. Okay. Target icon is B, so that's your target icon. The template layer is C. Oh, I see. That's a template layer. Okay, that's hard to see from there. Though. Again, and you can see this better probably if you're looking even at home, and if you're looking on your own computer screen. The sublayer is D, so that is a layer beneath layer 5, so that makes sense. And then the layer is E, so that's a layer right there. That's the whole layer itself. So not too bad. Not a difficult question, just especially if you can't see, it's not very helpful. So before creating assets for the project, which of the following design decisions need to be made? Choose two. Ensure the art style is appealing to children and their parents. Check for any spelling and grammar errors. Make sure the assets are appropriate for the intended age of the children. Uh, where the book will be distributed. So before creating assets for the project, is there any information on said project? Miss Attic, if you looked at question at the simulation test one, what were you saying? Where does it say that? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it doesn't give you any context. You're basically wanting to make sure you just have to know that it's the target audience. So I think that's there, yeah. And check for any spelling and grammar errors. Oh, okay. Yeah, like you're just supposed to understand if the target audience is looking for something, and then bad question. Interesting.
pretty sure that's it.
So you said there's another one though that talks
I
about.
think it's on constant.
Okay.
And he's probably figured it out from there.
That's weird though. But okay.
Yeah, you're just understanding this for target audience and target audience is
Good. Which of the following describes creative work that can be used without permission because it's owned by the public and not an individual? That would be fair use, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? Public domain.
that PowerPoint I shared with you explains that.
You guys have this. Okay, well
Yeah,
we're gonna go. We're gonna go over that on Friday. So.
I did not know any of this copyright stuff or
Alright.
can't read problems or I made a whole PowerPoint.
Well, I like how on our blueprint sheet for this class they don't talk about
They
it.
don't talk anything about that at all.
But that's okay. In regards to typography, which of the following correctly describes kerning? Basically on Monday. That is the two letters, the space between letters, space between specific pairs of characters. Got it. Just already got one right. Yeah, I always think of book. Alright, the following RGB color values create which color? Oh gosh. RGB, that is white. Is that right? Correct. I knew it was either going to be white or black, so yeah. Because and what's confusing is if you remember, if any of y'all took multimedia, which I think it might ask you this in these questions too. What is it? HMYK mode. If it's all the colors are present, then it's the opposite. So it can get very confusing. So, but yes, for RGB, if all the colors are present, then it's white, and if all the numbers are zero, then it's white. All right. And I highly doubt they'll ever ask you a question where they ask like specific numbers and like, is this yellow or is this blue? They really just want you to know, well, it's 255 because that's the highest you can go. Match each tool name with the corresponding tool icon. So the pen tool is this right here. We went over that. Remember we did all the pen tool activity. The brush tool is that first one. That is going to be the rectangle tool. And if you're just looking at it like kind of back, it could be called the shape tool. The shape builder tool, if I'm not mistaken, is that one at the bottom. And the eraser tool is the one that looks like a little bit of an eraser. So it's not the best looking eraser, but that's what's good. You got that all right. Which of the following features allows the shape to hide parts of the other artwork so only the part within the shape is visible? So that would be I think a opacity mask. No, it's a clipping mask. I was between masks. I knew it was mask. So a clipping mask allows a shape to hide parts of other artwork, so only the part within the shape is visible. Again, this is a hard test. It's honestly, in my opinion, harder than Photoshop. Just hey, may disagree with me on that, but Photoshop comes to me a lot easier for some reason Illustrator. Which of the following statements is true regarding printing in Adobe Illustrator project? There is no size restrictions no matter what printer you use. You can't print directly from Adobe Illustrator. Illustrator files can be printed using process color, or the printer's resolution directly affects the size and quality of image you can print. Well, that's the most basic answer, so I'm going to assume that's the correct answer. It is. Again, obviously, if your printer is only printing out an 8x10 paper like I have mine in the back set for, you can't print something larger than 8x10, right? So things like that. That's just use some common sense in there. Illustrator files can't be printed. That doesn't seem very accurate, so we can kind of throw that one out. There are no size restrictions no matter what printer you use. Again, those two kind of, again, if you're only choosing one, these are kind of similar. So, excuse me, these two are kind of similar, so you can kind of throw those out. But yeah, so the last one makes no sense. RGB color mode is blending mode using, it is the additive color, if I'm not mistaken. And that might be on. I think that's correct. Again, you get those easily mixed up. Yeah. RGB color is additive and CMYK is subtractive. All right, in project management, which of the following options accurately describes scope? Uh, scope creep. So, keeping employees in the dark regarding the progress of the project, beginning a large project without enough manpower to complete it, a lack of project budget before the project even begins, continuous uncontrolled changes in the project scope because it wasn't clearly defined. Hmm, let's see. That may be it. Let's see. I'm gonna think so. No, I'm wrong. Okay, shift creep is a continuous, uncontrolled changes in project scope because it wasn't clearly defined. Um, Obviously, creep wasn't a good thing. That's gonna mean it's going slow. And scope is the width of your project. So the continuous or uncontrolled changes in a project scope because it wasn't clearly defined. So that makes sense. All right, which of the following are available options when importing Photoshop document into Adobe Illustrator? Choose three. So convert layers to objects, import hidden layers, convert images to vectors, flatten layers to a single image, or preserve clipping mask. For instance, another good thing that's helpful, especially when Mr. Haddock sometimes, is the help tool. The following are available options. I like on the question was they just literally just straight out give you the answer, so that's good. So you can flatten layers to a single image. You can convert layers to objects here, and you can import hidden layers. That is what you can do when you are importing um, Photoshop. Excuse me, Photoshop document into Illustrator. All right, now we're going to get into some of these. I might not do a whole lot of these. I'm just going to do a couple just so you understand how this process works in the simulation environment. This should be fairly similar to the way you are going to be taking your geometrics test on Monday or Tuesday. For instance, basically everything will look kind of like this, but you're probably going to have a window right here that says certification or something like that, and it'll give you the questions within the program. I kind of wish they would go to something similar, like a simulation environment like this, because it would make it easier. But you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and just see really quickly what they're asking us, and we can use the help tools we need. Using the direct selection tool, convert the top anchor points of the red half circles to be a corner. So I know which tools we're going to use, but let's go ahead and look at this real quickly. So we're going to use the direct selection tool, which is this one. Between two more? Is it the one on the right? Yeah, you're right. Because the black one is just the regular selection tool. It's weird it gave it to me now. Yeah. Alright. Click the top center anchor point. So I'm assuming of the circle. Right there. In properties panel under can I click on? That's it. Okay. Um Click the top center anchor point in the red half circle in the properties panel under the what? Convert section. Click convert selected anchor point corner button. So in the properties, and then right in here, we got the anchor. Where's convert? Right down here, and we're going to convert set anchor point to a corner. There we go. So that should be it. Next, did we get it right? We did. Okay, cool. So you see how those work? Those are, I mean, it's just like when you do Photoshop, but I understand some people may not be paying attention or following along with us when we were doing that. So here's what it is. We've gotten through about half of this. Uh, Real quick, let's just see what this one is. Make the green wrench graphic into a document guide. So real quick, select the green wrench graphic, clicking on it with the selection tool. So not the direct selection tool, just the regular selection tool. And there we go. And we're gonna click on it. And then in the view menu, hover over guides. Okay. What we're going over here, hover over guides. There we go. Guides, and then make guides. All right, and then that one should be right. So this is the easiest way, and for today, if you want to practice a little bit, probably a good idea would be doing this in training mode, getting more comfortable with it. Um, Honestly, what we have tried to do for the most part in this class is make sure you kind of know where some things are at, understand how to get to things faster so that your time will be a little bit easier. Because most of the time it will be pretty simple, like that last one didn't give you much of a hint on where to go for the most part. So you're going to have to make sure you kind of memorize some of those things. But for the most part, if you can do some of the basic stuff, answer those multiple choice questions, you should do right decently well on the certification, if that makes sense. So, if you haven't been practicing and you haven't been doing anything with geometrics, then you probably are not going to do well in the certification. So please make sure you are doing that. I'm going to give you the rest of the day to kind of work on one. I'm not requiring you to turn in a score. You will be turning in a score tomorrow because you're going to take simulation test 2 in testing mode, so I can see kind of what you're making on those. And then we're going to review simulation test 2, kind of like we did simulation test 1 today. I might not go through all of it, but I'll probably see a lot of it with you. Probably more than what we're doing today, for instance. So, that is it. I'm going to stop recording there. So everyone who's watching, have a good day. Make sure you're practicing a little bit of geometrics, and make sure you remember the certification is being taken on Monday at 11 for those who are A week or all virtual, and on Tuesday for those who are B week. Yes, B week, which will be next week. All right. Y'all have a great day.